Thank you. Okay, so is it Jim or James?
Yeah, either.
James Rhines of Horizon Engineering. We have 5 minutes or so.
All right.
Just to provide whatever additional information you wish.
Great, thank you. For the record, my name is James Rhines. I'm from Horizons Engineering, representing Rob and Linda Laskin in their application for an equitable waiver of dimensional requirements. The property is located at 12 Francis Ave, tax map R18, lot 39. We're seeking a waiver of section 4, section 4.3.1.2.2 of the zoning ordinance to permit the overhang of the structure to violate the 25-foot side yard setback by 1.2 feet. So resulting in a setback of the overhang being 23.8 feet from the setback, from the boundary line versus the 25 feet required. If you look at the plan behind you, before construction started, we had staked out what is in gray for the contractor, because we all knew that the setback was 25 feet. We had designed it because, as you can see from the wetland on the property here, there was a small building envelope, so we physically staked it out. And then the contractor was concerned that there's a steeper slope here and the proximity of the wetland. This was a deck that was overhanging the wetland by about a foot in here. So as he was prepping for excavation, they decided to eliminate a driveway thumb that was going to be here, and he said, can I move the house 5 feet closer to Francis Avenue? And I said, yeah, as long as you don't move it east or west, you're fine. You know, just move it toward the road. So using the stakes we did, he attempted to shift.
I think you meant north or south.
Yes, I did. I apologize. So he attempted to do that, and by the time he excavated, used his adjusted offset stakes and then put it in, he didn't quite move it 5 feet. He moved it 4.6 feet, and he unfortunately moved it north about 2.2 feet, which resulted in, instead of being a foot from the boundary line with the overhang, it was over by 1.2 feet. So that happened in 24. In 25, we were called in August because the footprint when we got the septic approval was more boxy. It wasn't as narrow, and the septic tank was in a different location. The state requires a septic as-built when you shift the tank location or you change the footprint. So when we did the as-built, the house was substantially complete, and that's when we discovered the violation of the setback. And per the requirements of a zoning for an equitable waiver, you know, they want to know when the nonconformity was discovered, and was it discovered? Was it because of no knowledge of the law or ill intent? And we clearly knew what it was. We knew it was a tight site. We took precautions, but despite those precautions, there was an honest mistake in the shifting, and then it wasn't discovered until the structure was up and almost ready for occupation. So that's sort of it in a nutshell. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board or the public has.
I don't have any questions.
I think this is a good case of measure twice, cut once.
Yes, exactly.
Fine. I guess at least perhaps for the audience, though the roof projects a little bit more than a foot into the prescribed setback, the building itself is within the prescribed setback.
Yes, the walls, so it's just the overhang, the walls and of the structure, so it's.
I get that for the record, it's
Yeah.
the house is compliant.
Right, it's just that, you know, the definition is, you know, the most extreme portion of a structure, and since the overhang goes over it.
Just for the record, what would happen at, just curious, what would happen if you actually cut that 1.2 feet off the roof?
Well, I mean, you obviously would affect the aesthetics of the house, and my argument would be that would make the house less attractive and, you know, sort of devalue the neighborhood compared to an attractive home versus something that I don't think any layperson or even a professional walking by would realize, oh, they've violated the setback here. You know,
Wouldn't it also allow the water to literally flow down the wall and seep into the,
Yes.
into the
yes,
soil next
oh,
to the
yeah, I
foundation?
mean, it would, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
No, I looked at it earlier with Kevin and discussed it with him and you know, the building inspector, and he really couldn't see an issue with it, you know, it was an honest mistake, and he didn't see any problems with it, so we kind of looked at the situation. And so just going by what he had said, that's why I never even went up and looked at it.
Okay. Fine. Unless there's any more comments or questions, I can close the hearing and we can deliberate.
You want to open it to anybody here first?
Well, I could, if any, but I mean, there's no abutters here who have the right to speak. But it's a small group and we have some time. If anybody wants to say anything briefly, that's fine, but 5 minutes are up. Does anybody want to say anything?
Yeah, I'll just say my dad. I'm Josh Laskin. My dad is the one building the house, and he just wanted to say that he apologizes that he can't be here. He wanted to, but couldn't get out of work. And yeah, this is a house that he's trying to build just so that he can be near family and stuff. And yeah, I mean, he's not trying to do anything, any Airbnbs or anything like that. So he's just wanted to send his regards that he couldn't be here.
Thank you. Okay, with that, you can have your seat back.
All right, thank you.
And I will, and your name, by the way, just for the record, is?
Josh Laskin.
Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, I will close the hearing and deliberation. I think this is somewhat fairly straightforward. But do we need, just to remind everybody, there's 4 elements here. There's the lack of discovery, that this was a good faith error in measurement or calculation, no diminution of value of surrounding property, and the cost of correcting the mistake outweighs any public benefit. We haven't really had any testimony on the diminution of value of surrounding properties. If anything would come from abutters, most likely, and they have chosen not to be here, or not. Well, they were notified. So I mean, to me, that's the one thing that we might discuss. But if nobody has any concerns about that, okay.
I think it checks all the boxes,
I think so,
Mr.
too.
Chairman.
Okay, so could I then I would suggest a motion that we find that the violation was not noticed or discovered until after the violation had been substantially completed.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Second, that the violation was caused by good faith error in measurement or calculation. All in favor of finding that?
Aye.
Great, that's unanimous. And then, a motion that we find that there's no diminution in the value of surrounding property. Somebody say so moved.
So moved.
Second,
Second, aye.
all in favor,
Aye.
4-0. And then, a motion that we find that the cost of correcting the mistake outweighs any public benefit.
So moved.
Second, Huntley, making it easy.
Yep.
Your second, great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we have, maybe just for the record, we can have a motion that we grant the waiver of, the equitable waiver of dimensional requirements.
So moved.
Second, Huntley? All in favor?
Aye.
So we've granted the equitable waiver.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the excellent, but still concise presentation in paper.
Yep.
And the
You
very
made it
helpful as-built drawing that
Good.
made it very clear what was going on.
Well, that was the hope. So
Good
thank you
luck,
very
good
much.
luck to your
So-
dad.
Now,
So,
let me just add, this essentially is any abutter or the select board has the right to move for a rehearing if they think we've made a mistake. And they have that right for 30 days from the date of this decision. Date of this vote, unless we're more than 5 days late in publicly posting the decision. So in effect, this is not 100% official for 30 days.
can you, do you by normal process notify Burr of this decision?
Yes,
Because.
he'll get a copy of the decision.
Okay, because they're trying to get the leach field backfilled, and
Okay.
he couldn't approve it because of the well release, which we recorded
Yes,
on November 12th, and the approval of the zoning.
he will get the decision, within a few days.
Okay.
Whether you, and presumably there's the whole issue that it may not be 100% official
Right.
if there's,
I understand, because of
if somebody
appeal.
objects, but
Yep.
I'm not going to offer an opinion how likely that is in
Sure.
this case. So that's kind of up to him and how he wants to approach it.
Okay.
And then even if he approves it, how you want to approach it in terms of backfilling.
Yeah, well, I think the leach field is, I think that even if it were appealed, it's the structure, it's not the leach field, and the leach field they just want to cover, so I don't think there's a big risk from that standpoint, so.
Okay.
And what did he say he had to wait for until this?
So,
He had to deny
yeah, he had to deny,
violate our zoning
so
law.
before we can submit the as-built to the state, because Jackson has local approval, we have to submit it to Burr, he signs off, and he denied it because it violated zoning. He said, so you've got to cure that before I can
Right.
sign off. So if he knows that it's done, even though it's still subject to an appeal, he could sign off that it was, approved. We recorded the well release, which was one of the other things he wanted done, and they can get the system backfilled, and if by some chance someone were to appeal the decision on the structure, it's not gonna affect the leach field anyway.
Yeah.
It's just gonna allow the leach field to get backfilled. So, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Good evening.
Just,
Yes, you
Thank
too.
folks.
thank you.
Yep.
Just for the minutes, I think Huntley seconded everything, and Dave, you motioned everything, so it makes it very easy to do that. Great. I will circulate some suggested dates in
Maybe.
late March.
March works, yeah.
March works?
Doesn't work for
I just won't be here.
So the whole month?
Home on. I won't be back
I'll
until
give him a call.
probably around
Yeah.
April
I'm
12th.
sure he's
Can we plug him
sitting on
in
the
on
edge of his
Zoom?
seat right now.
Yeah. I know he was.
Good night,
Huntley?
thanks.
Bernardo Beach or
Probably
something.
not.
Thank you.
It depends. Yeah,
Okay.
it's-
Look, there's,
I'm trying to
there's
think
there's
what-
no rush on this. We can postpone it
I-
to.
I'm gonna start working on.
Yeah. We can circulate a
Yeah,
draft.
I mean, I'm sure that there are lots of sources, so I'll get working on that.
My goal is to, well, I'll do it in a minute.
Sure,
Yeah, the only way I can do Zoom is go to the library, if the library would have to be open, yeah.
It's not,
This is not.
Where
not
are
that
you?
emergent.
I thought you were in Sanibel as opposed to
Well,
Antarctica.
we're in a camper,
Oh, you're in a camper?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
and the library has,
Okay, all right.
we don't have
I'm
anything
gonna
in the
stay, you
camper.
know, I mean, even in the most desolate spots now, well, you know what you should get? What do you have for cell service, Verizon?
No, we just got rid of this Verizon, we have, what the heck is it? My wife takes care of all that. I can't even think of what.
Well,
it is.
I'm sure whatever it is,
Yeah.
you can get a hotspot.
Yeah,
It's like $10 a month. You know, and you can do it, you know, how long you're down there for, a couple of months, you can get it for a couple of months and then
Yeah.
terminate the service.
Huntley doesn't
I
want.
do that when I go on a lot of
Huntley
trips.
doesn't want
We
to
can-
be
this can
in
wait.
touch.
And I'm going to
Doesn't want a hotspot.
Well, no, what if I want to have a Zoom with him?
Well, you
Or
can't.
what does Kenny do? He must go into remission with,
oh, we
You away.
call on the phone,
okay,
yeah, I check in once a week.
okay, all right. You know, what's he gonna do with
Throw
his
that in there.
copy clashes?
Thank you,
What was
everybody.
that with Shoop?
Huh?
What was, because I didn't.
Shoop was the one that deeded the property to these.
Oh,
to
is
the
that
land. Yeah, yeah.
He was an odd guy, did you ever meet him?
No, did you know him?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, what'd you think of him?
I got along with